제가 아주 벽이 털었으가래. 지상이네. 내 남지 인지 창조업이 대목어체. 나라 위계 쌍만 되긴다.
This institute is known as the Institute for Higher Tibetan Studies. So I will avoid speaking in my normal broken English, rather speak the beautiful Central Tibetan dialect.
야, 당연日本 당국이 다 뒤에는 롬닝한테 주체. 다 좀제得是 텐데요래. 你们经历了主要말에, 로经历了主要말에, 로 뭔가 링리야. 다 배주체네. 다 배주체에게 민망구진이 정찰을 해. 다 미로는 미로. 지금 배주 닝도 깨베. 다 레부레. 진짜 인도 내버디디 이제 장수적화를샤. 다 안데 여도 열심히 장수 뒤디 후다보다는 게 열에 두시스기.
So first of all, as we celebrate this Golden Jubilee, we are reflecting back on the great achievement of this institute. And when we talk about the achievement of this institute, we are talking about an achievement over a long period of time, which is very gradually achieved, which means we are thinking about a passage of time, which suggests that many of the key people who were part of that great achievement are no longer with us. So while we celebrate the Golden Jubilee, we must also remember their contribution as well. So at the beginning, I would like to take the opportunity to all of you who have been part of this great journey, who are alive and present today, to express my congratulations to all of you.
Oh yeah. And that 지루 다 그래 니도 접게 너 담부 서직 자다 지당 안서 로즈잖아 로스 딱되잖아 얘기네 말이 와 이내다 지된 잡을거네 아니 샤도 든자도 아니 다와도 로스진 먼저 시기 어렵다 자자다 지된 잡을거네다 들로사버리 로사바 고추리. 자, 당한조 투주 그리는 주주도와 투주 주로도 첩지 지금 의욕이 나다는데 주주도와 자상간 가는서 다 들이한다 로사베 당 고추디야래 당한조 로디 나로라 야 내주 사바 근데 중국도와 대도 뜸버지기 아주 매주적화도 백해시 모르셔. 사진 콜도 스코르죠 마대비체 직제. 니네 만한저다 다 차르다 튼두도 예되기 뒤지 두동야게 누게 요마다. 땅 아주 밀래. 자 뒤지 사와사와 용기를 양안한 좀 싸움 당하네. 그다 다 탑시 딘지지 않나? 아주 중제 딘지지 용 시그리 삼바지 땅 아주 미치도야래. 자, 진짜 인도다 로사바디 나로래야 다 아주 가르치야도 차진디 또 스코르티브네 추주 코로코로나 시점에 붙여 삼사와단 레아데 백해심부리.
So today also happened to be the first day of the 2018. Of course, when we talk about New Year, we are talking about a conventionally designated point of time. If you ultimately examine what exactly is a year, you don't really find it, because year is composed of months, and months are composed of weeks, weeks are composed of days. When you analyze in that manner, it's very difficult to pinpoint and say this is the year. But on the other hand, we live in a world governed by conventions and norms, and according to the convention, today is the first day of 2018. So as we remember this important day, being a first day of the new year, it is also, important for us to think about time. Time will always move on. And we can never stop time. But as human beings, we also have in our hands what we do with the time, what we do during that time. And here, one thing that I would like to suggest is that as we begin this new year, we should really kind of approach the year with a kind of a new way of thinking, so that we don't live our life, we don't conduct our everyday life just as it is usual, just as business as usual. Because if we do things by approaching business as usual, we never really change. So it's important that we look at new moments of time, because new moments of time will also open up new opportunities. And to seize the new opportunities, it's only the human beings who have that capability. Animals will only go through the passage of time. They cannot plan ahead. They cannot prepare. They cannot anticipate in a long-term basis. We humans have that capacity because of our gifted of intelligence. So one thing that I would like to suggest to the members of this institute is to approach the year not just as another year, just another year, but really seek out new opportunities. And because time always changes, and as time changes, there are new ways needed to adapt to the changing times and circumstances. So therefore, it is important to always bring a kind of a fresh perspective to changing times.
다 개체슈디 아주 레버 쪽으로. 레버베 톰 좀 맞대버체. 차진 코라도 오스 맞대버체. 시다 레버 쪽야 리아 초 용기 내주도 통치하다. 백해서 버리셔. 처치 내주 장장도 통되나? 아니 그 레벨 니버디 저도 말해. 그 초 용기 내주도 상담배이나. 아주 레버디 믹스의 뉴버시도와 다든지 초용의 내수 또베 토네 다디 팬뱅오진 교아디 레버지고 제토고 말에 학성과래 자상가 원래 전에 남주기 싫었다 학과 삼바 숭도 제가 토네 로과에 백해치 물이 들께서 전문이 뛰간 게 역적 로버가 여대버지기다 디디 민 남주기 토네 폐지 용되기 열에 하삼 상부되게 만담체 남주지고고 돈은 줬대도 애니코에 지 태식 미장 통동 그 삼루스탄 된제가 돈에 애니 역도 먹고 쉬운데도 와. 자 된제 인도 간주다 원에 지기 남주기 싫을 때다 샴뱅가 학과에서 뭐 숭둔 제거하되 백해져 버리셔.
So another important point I would like to emphasize here, given that this is an institute for learning, is the need to constantly shake up our brain. Don't leave the brain as if it's got no task. So we need to shake up our brain, and the best way to shake brain is to make sure that we are not fixated on a one-sided perspective or one-sided vision of the reality. One needs to develop a kind of a multifaceted understanding of reality, which then throws up all sorts of angles of approaching a situation. So in this way, one will be able to utilize the human intelligence, the brain that we have. And of course, in order for that brain and intelligence to be utilized in a constructive way, then the brain and education alone is not adequate. It needs to be guided by good motivation, a motivation of compassion and kindness. So therefore, what is required is a skillful union of intelligent brain as well as compassionate motivation. And if we are able to combine these two, then we will be successful.
아야, 아니. 되게 안도 공도 숭셰 năng 제 원에 지배다 숭셰배 단답에 겹쳐보셔 숭니. 시다이 어청소 안 인도전에 시작하면도 당의 내줄이야 나한테 류부디 안다 산나탈 때디어 등에 삼로디 도시전 반조되고 그래.
So, all the previous speakers spoke really eloquently and also in a very comprehensive manner and pretty much covered all the points that I wanted to share with you. So there is nothing to add. And furthermore, the fact is that although I'm physically here on the stage, but my mind is already in Bodh Gaya.
자자가 다 시라시하게면도 엔가 줌지션이 되어서
So I have not much to say, but I thought I could tell you a story.
너주로라 아저 라사야 표랑종조 저지원연한가 주체 제주 중앙의 구조소와 지금 저지 엔디 구조소와 그저제 사세니 워그 총색하 가셔야 첨질 신세 엔 첨질 집에 그돌이야 저 총습은 아니 나 거수 태무 다 더거로 엔 총습은 다로 차사와시도스 너무냐고 차시도스 지금
The story is, this is in 1956. The Chinese Communist Party set up a Tibet Preparatory Committee, and part of that, there was a delegation from mainland China. So these delegation members, visited various Tibetan villages, and the villagers were saying that we were given a task, and the first task seemed to be that we were supposed to clap at specific points.
제가 들어가서 때
So here today, on this day of celebration, all of us had to clap a lot. Because in traditional Tibetan culture, in fact, clapping is considered to be not a very good thing, because clapping is done when you want to expel some kind of negative forces away, then you clap.
지금도 그 이제 폐지 10주 10주 하면로 잘면 속어들 실려버리. 그래서네 아니 사사들이 뭔구치기 땡의 통수다 땡의 통수 넣어줘. 자 사사들 가서 그게 도거를지 넣어줘. 잘면 거기서 거수시면 넣을지.
So, and this reminds me of another story. This was in 1940s, 45, 46. And there was a small group of Germans came to visit Tibet. Lhasa. And the local Tibetans from Lhasa were so surprised to see, aliens that they have never seen. They thought that this was a bad omen. So some of the ladies started clapping, and the Germans thought they were being greeted.
야,现在엔다 나랑아래 또 니마던 나와도 로텐도 로레 에처나서 다가는시 니마다 된자다 나와 로텐 로레 딱 간단한 소모로 자 변다 로직다 친 마음과 로직 친이 네 니동 주고 봐 니동 주고 레베 그돌 니동 접게 로디 네 로디 탄던 데버지 끼야리 인사만 죽나 엔 끼우야래 자소 다 로드 차라 친수 서로 엔 독선이 샤베 있나 로디 나로를 녀크던 내베 선치베 있나 빼랑 덮겨버리 저장 안조 로사바티 뭐네 탄던 데버지 지기 인사바체 로지마 양 로사바티 뭐 그돌 로 대우치하지 땅에 데베 로디 탄던 데버지 뮤직이야 인사바 중에 야고요래 시간 딱인 쉐아기도.
So I don't have much to say. As I mentioned before, all of us travelers through a journey of time, so including myself. So we travel through time, months, weeks, days, and so on. So today is 2018. The important thing is when you look back at the beginning of 2019 to 2018, how would you think about the year that you have spent? Would you have a sense of contentment, saying that I have lived that year well. I have served the purpose of that year, or would you be looking back with a sense of regret for all the troubles that you have caused? So this is why it's important that as we begin the new year, look forward, we should project our intention ahead, so that we make this year a meaningful one, so that when we turn back to look at it, we can live our life with a sense of happiness and joy. Thank you.
미 결과지기 뭐는 미지 탄던 데버지 야구체베 있나 그 숙인디 미지기 숙인 미줄테 미주부디게 양 도스 슈긴 미짤테 도스네 그 지졸이야 그게 슈긴 태야서 도스 루주로 봐 그러니까 지소 슈긴이 미겔 그 소소 구조시 뭐게 봐 도와주는 식 남들이 군도하시는 연구를 사요 말다.
So in fact, if an individual were to make conscious intention to live his or her life with a sense of purpose, live it in a good way, then the ripple effect of that really spreads. First from the individual to the family, then to the community, to the friends, neighbors, and so on, and in a kind of a ripple effect. And this is how society gets changed and affected. Otherwise, when we talk about transformation of society, the transformation really has to start from the individual, from inside to outwards. Otherwise, we would be, expecting some kind of transformation coming from outside, from the above. That is unrealistic.
Thank you.